I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I am your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me is the one and only Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. How you doing over there?
Cold. It's fucking cold. Man, like I went to pick the kids up this morning when I got off work, and they were saying it was going to start snowing around 8 o'clock. So I thought, good, that means I got time to go pick them up and get most of the way back home before it hits. Nah, it started at fucking 6:30. The roads became just solid snow covered. Couldn't see the lines. By the time I picked them up, turned around, and was heading back home, traffic was a crawl. We did like 22 miles an hour across. It was fucking miserable. So, yay, snow. Again.
Yeah. Well, I can't complain about that. It's a little chilly over here. It's like 70 something. It's my winter. It's as cold as I like it to get. What's going on, Spud Ruckus? I used to watch this all the time.
My buddy Jack, he lives down in Florida, and he's like, man, it's cold down here today. And I'm like, how cold is it? And he's like 50. I'm like, 50? Shit. It's still double what we've got here.
Yeah, well, it's all relative. It's all relative. It's not our fault you chose to live in the not only hillbilly land, but fucking cold hillbilly land.
Well, we get extremes to both ends. It's cold in the winter, but it's also hot in the summer. I think so.
Yeah, the Midwest weather. It's all or nothing.
Yeah,
it sucks. But at least you're not on fire.
Very true. Let's hear from Gavin Newsom about that first before we jump into the article.
People are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to the president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Finally, your message to the folks here, to this community.
I mean, we have their backs, and we're going to be back. And this is going to be a long recovery process. But look, we have residents moving back into Paradise, California. I've seen remarkable recovery efforts. I've seen remarkable sense of community, purpose, resilience. So, I'm not just playing the politician role of optimism. I really am long-term optimistic. But the devastation to hear people wailing and crying, concerned about their pet, their family, they're just bewildered about what they're experiencing. And again, not just experience. I was not talking past tense. This is happening in real time. 0% containment.
Dude, okay. I don't know. Like, does this just remind you of the meme? Like, everything's on fire, but this is okay. Like, there's a house burning in the background, dude. Like, wouldn't you just instinctually want to put that fire out if you were a normal person, not do a fucking interview in front of it?
Well, that's the problem is they defunded their fire department, so they can't put it out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've heard conflicting things about the defunding of the fire department. If they did defund it, it's like, okay. if you didn't, that's even worse. People are like, oh, that's bullshit. They didn't defund it. Well, then that's actually worse. Because okay, so you're completely funded. You've got tons of money, but you're apparently just inept. I did see a clip on Rogan where he was saying that like this fire chief or whatever was just like, there's one day there's going to be a fire in the right area with the right winds, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. Sounds like that's today. Or when did it start? Like 2 days ago?
I mean, I kind of feel like that's happened the past 3 years. Every year it's happened. Like,
that's true.
Like,
yeah.
You would think at some point you would be able to stop, I don't know, like literally one of them.
Well, so I guess there's like 5 active fires right now, right? Pull up that Zero Hedge article I sent you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 5.
We've got the Palisades fire in Los Angeles, which has killed 2 people and grown to cover 31 square miles, likely destroying thousands of structures, according to fire officials. It was 6% contained as of late Thursday night. 6%, baby.
Yeah, well,
we're getting there. The Eaton fire in the hills of Altadena in northern Los Angeles County has killed 3 people and burned more than 21 square miles. Between 4,000 and 5,000 structures were believed to have been destroyed or damaged. Cal Fire reported 0% containment as of Thursday.
Not even working on that one.
Yeah, sorry. The Kenneth fire ignited in the Woodland Hills neighborhood of Los Angeles on Thursday and covered 960 acres with 0% containment as of Thursday night, according to Cal Fire. The Sunset Fire, which erupted Wednesday in Hollywood Hills, prompted a new round of mandatory evacuations and threatened iconic landmarks. By Thursday, all evacuation orders for the fire were lifted, and the blaze had been fully contained, according to officials. Hollywood Hills, fully contained. If you were ever curious as to who is actually fucking important, you have it.
Yeah, well, to me, also, containment just seems like one of those things where it's either contained or it's not. I don't know what 6% containment means. Like, it's like we got it under. It's contained or it's not contained.
All right, so hang on, let's find it. So here's this picture here. So 6% containment means like this little piece right here is not still burning. All the rest of this definitely, but this little piece right here, we got that to stop. So that's 6% containment.
All right. Yeah, the Palisades is a pretty nice area too, right? I don't really know California that well, but I think the Palisades is sort of like at least upper middle class, if not high society. But I could be wrong about that. I've only been out to LA like a couple times. There's I haven't really listened to this yet, but if you scroll down, there's an Adam Carolla rant about this. It might be worth a listen. Because these people, I think it's about them having to. Oh wait, go back up because one of them's arson too. That guy, yeah. Click on that one.
Brian, this is a huge and very frustrating development.
Yeah, I mean, I totally unexpected, Dan. Was not expecting to get that piece of information in the last couple of minutes. We were sort of wondering why there are so many police out here. Obviously, this is a fire scene, and we've been at fire scenes for the last couple of days, and it didn't really make a lot of sense that more and more LAPD were showing up, and then the crime scene unit also being out here. So we spoke to the lead officer in charge, who you saw there, and he was very open about it. He said that they believe the Kenneth fire, which is the latest fire to start here in LA, now at 900 acres, give or take, they believe that someone did intentionally set it, that this is now officially an arson investigation. He said this whole area behind me, the canyon behind me, they're calling now a crime scene, and that they have a person in custody, detained, who they are questioning. Apparently someone in the area may have seen something. Now someone is in custody. But when you think about what has gone on in LA over the last 3 days, and granted, keep in mind, this is just the latest fire. This doesn't mean the other fires that we've been covering were intentionally shot. We don't we don't know. But LAPD saying they believe this latest fire was arson. Dan.
And
were we talking about, had the fire started on Tuesday when we did this, or was that on the morning show when we talked about it? At some point this week, I have said, how long is it going to be before we find out that these fires were set by some raging psychopath environmentalist that's trying to prove that climate change is a real thing?
Yep. You did not. I don't think you mentioned that on this show. So yeah, I don't know if they had just started on Tuesday. I don't think I started paying attention to them until like Wednesday. Yeah. Dude, why? Like, I just don't understand why people can't adjust their ridiculous opinions on things when the facts don't support. It's like the racism thing, where it's like they just want everything to be so racist, so they create all these fake fucking racist stories. It's like, yo, climate change is not a problem. You should be happy about that. It's like, this is good news that the world's not going to fucking fall apart in the next 10 years or whatever their retarded prediction was. Just as these racist people, like the fucking race, like, you should be happy that, black people aren't being lynched left and right. Like, I don't understand why they're married to these fucking positions.
Well, no, it was either the ones last year or the year before that was actually a batshit crazy environmentalist that was trying to make a point about how bad global warming or how bad climate change is and set the fucking fires. Like, this will not be the first time that the fires that are wiping out California are some insane leftist. And isn't it really funny? It's even more funny that you have just 3 months ago, the Donald Trump interview with Joe Rogan, where Trump and Rogan literally talk about the mismanagement of the forest and everything by California and how that's causing these fires.
Yeah. And I mean, there has to be a metaphor in there somewhere, at the risk of sounding very callous, that just fucking California is just burning down. And it's just a complete inferno and it can't be stopped. Yeah, and then Gavin Newsom just standing in front of a burning house. Like, what if that was your house, dude? Like, I don't know, man. Pick up a bucket of water, get to fucking work, dude. Be given some stupid fucking interview. He wanted to politicize it. I'm not going to politicize it. And of course, in doing so, in talking about politicizing it, you're actually politicizing it. And in setting the fires yourself, you're proving that people are actually the fucking problem, not the climate. Shit. Anyway, it's pretty fucking brutal, dude. 10 people are dead. Estimates in the fire damage could exceed 150 billion. So, again, this is going to be, I'm sure, the federal government, you and me, will foot the bill for this one, and the rest of the taxpayers. California's budget surplus that Gavin Newsom was bragging about, the fake surplus. Yeah, I don't think they had 150 billion set aside for a rainy day or a fiery day. Do you?
I think when the revisions came back on his surplus, it actually ended up that they had a deficit. But
something, yeah, that sounds about right. And
I think he was touting like an $80 billion surplus, and then when the numbers actually came in, like a projected $80 billion surplus, and then when the numbers came in, they ended up having like a $60 billion deficit. Like, how the fuck did you go from expecting to have an $80 billion surplus to having a $60 billion deficit?
Yeah. Only in government can you do that and not really catch any fucking heat for it. And then it's not like you said, these fires happen every year. Yes, this one's worse than maybe all of them in the past. It might be the worst one in history or something like that. But like,
I think it's the worst one because it hit Hollywood Hills and like it got more attention. Like, a lot of times they're just burning wildlife, and occasionally they'll get close to like some suburbs or something, and then people start to freak out. This one actually like went through major areas. or like major populated areas. And
there's going to be a lot more homeless in LA. That homeless problem got exponentially worse this week. And I mean, you have to imagine something happens to you every year and it costs you a fucking fortune and you don't set aside any money for it in anticipation. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous that the federal government, like, they're going to have to ask the rest of the country to foot the fucking bill for this, even though it happens every year. Like, that should be a fucking budgeted item. Okay, fire damage. Call it, I don't know, maybe not 150 billion, but call it 50 billion for fires this year. And if it doesn't happen, hey, got an extra 50 billion. Roll it over to the next year and just be prepared for this kind of shit. It's amazing how ill prepared they are. Could they do any worse? 0% contained, 6% contained. Maybe they defunded they cut the fire department's budgets. Maybe they didn't. I know there was definitely a DEI initiative to get less white firemen in there and more fire people of color. So they could have had more firemen, I'm sure. I'm sure they turned away thousands of would-be firefighters because they didn't meet the DEI requirements.
Yeah, well, they were also bragging about, I think the current LA County fire chief is like the first female fire chief. Like, how's that working out? Like, okay, like, I'm not saying that it's her fault that all this caught on fire. I'm just saying when you got 0% containment on two pretty big ones,
yeah.
I don't know what's, and also she is the one who the rumors are circulating about cutting the funding. So I don't know,
Yeah,
I do have a theory. So I think I've talked about it before. I do have a theory on the DEI and putting women in these leadership roles and stuff. You know who's like making these decisions to put all of these diversity hires and women in all of these like roles, positions of power and giving them, the ability to make decisions and stuff. It's white men. Like it's a bunch of white dudes that are like, yeah, let them go run shit for a while. This is all because the patriarchy always wins. We give them a taste. We stick them in there. We let them have their turn. They fail miserably, and then we can be like, oh, it's fine. Give them a little pat on the butt. Back to the kitchen with you now. Like, you tried. You get a ribbon and go do the things you're good at. Go away now.
Well, it does seem like quite often that they're not set up for success. They're not really put in a position where it's like, okay, yeah, this is
validates my theory more.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah. Do we want to listen to the Adam Carolla thing? I don't know how long it is.
Yeah, let me check how long it is first before. No, that's 27 minutes. I think
is it queued up to like a?
Oh, it's queued up to.
I think it's probably queued up to the thing. That's usually how they do it.
Let's see what he has to say. Oh yeah, it is.
The most progressive blue voters in the world or in the United States. They are a bastion of blue. So what those guys did is all the people in the Palisades, I checked it out. It's about 80% blue, 80% progressive, 80% Democrat. Now, these pussies are all sitting around crying about Karen Bass, water pressure. How come the forest wasn't cleared of all the brush? What's happening with the infrastructure? You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you fucking get what you get. Oh, now that your house is on fire, well, now you're thinking about something else. Now you want to know what's going on. What's going on around here? You didn't give a shit about what was going on when other people's houses were on fire, but now you care. So here's what's going to happen. All these people who were deep blue Democrats are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild. And they're going to get the 28-year-old bitch from the Coastal Commission telling them to go fuck off. And then they're going to vote for Trump or whoever's Trumpian next. You see, they're going to get turned. They're going to get turned hard because, as I've always said, live in the rent control apartment in Santa Monica, fine, good. We know how you vote. Go deal with the city. Try to pull a permit. These are going to be thousands of homes, super wealthy people, and these people don't want to live in Van Nuys. They like it where they are. They love Malibu. They love the Palisades. They love Santa Monica. There's going to be a whole bunch of rich people, and they're going to go, I'm rebuilding, and I want to rebuild as fast as I can. And between the part where they go in to the planning commission and plan check and initially and try to pull a permit to the time the first load of lumber, the first load of 2x4s is dropped off on their lot where their house formerly stood, it's going to be 3 years. And 1,000 permits and 1,000 arguments and 1,000 discussions with the Coastal Commission, not to mention little tidbits that they didn't think about, like Carson Daly. You want a swimming pool? Yep. Got to be double hulled. Really? Yeah. Well, why? Well, what if water leaches out and gets into the groundwater table? Carson Daly had to build a swimming pool like a modern day oil tanker. Had to put like a double hull. That's all right. It'll just cost $500,000 for a swimming pool.
Right, I think we get the point. Dude, California just sounds so fucking miserable to live there. Like, it's nice to visit, you know, you spend a weekend there or something, you have a good time. But when you have to actually get shit done, it just sounds absolutely fucking miserable. Absolutely miserable. So, yeah, we'll see. These people, they might have some comeuppance coming because the regulations that they vote for are absolutely insane. I remember like decades ago, they were like regulating what you could do on the beach. Like you couldn't dig a hole more than like a foot or something. You couldn't throw a frisbee. It was like, I don't know. But apparently you can just bring your dog everywhere because everyone's got these fucking dogs like in restaurants at the table with them. But yeah, God forbid you should dig a hole at the beach.
Good God. Sean and I had discussed doing like a cross-country road trip when he graduates from high school and like drive from here to California and back and like see some sights and stuff. The more I hear about California, the more I'm like, maybe we'll just like go to Vegas and then turn around. That's fine.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody who's lived in Vegas, like from California, has lived in Vegas for like the last 15 years. And Vegas has just exploded with people that left California because they've just been priced out of it. It's way too fucking expensive. And not to mention, like, yeah, there's those massive homeless encampments and shit. These fires, really high taxes. Yeah, I don't understand. It's like, yes, the weather is nice, but there's a lot of places you can go that have pretty nice weather. Like, I don't know. Anyway, good luck to California. It sucks, you know, for anybody out there that loses their fucking house. I don't know what to tell you, except maybe start looking for another place to live.
Well,
writing's been on the wall there for a while, kind of like Chicago.
Like New York as well. I mean, New York is currently in the midst of the same thing with people fleeing and, you know, moving to Florida and Nashville and elsewhere to get away from, well, they've been priced out. And also a lot of like normal people who had previously lived in those cities are like, I don't want to deal with the insanity anymore. Speaking of New York, there was some news out of New York today. Got Trump's conviction or sentencing.
No jail time for the Don. Teflon Don eludes a prison sentence once again. So I'd call him pretty much undefeated. What was the actually play that clip? I didn't listen to that.
Yes, thank you.
No, 6 minutes. Jesus.
This has been very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the
6
New York
minutes
court
with bad
system.
volume. All right, forget that clip.
This is a case that.
Come on, Fox, be better. Anyway, here's his I'll pull up his statement, what he said or what he posted on X. It'll be effectively the shorter version of the same thing. The radical Democrats have lost another pathetic un-American witch hunt. After spending tens of millions of dollars wasting over 6 years of obsessive work that should have been spent on protecting New Yorkers from violent, rampant crime that is destroying the city and state, coordinating with the Biden-Harris Department of Injustice in lawless weaponization, and bringing completely baseless, illegal, and fake charges against your 45th and 47th president, I was given an unconditional discharge. That result alone proves that, as all legal scholars and experts have said, there is no case, there was never a case, and this whole scam fully deserves to be dismissed. The real jury, the American people, have spoken by re-electing me with an overwhelming mandate in one of the most consequential elections in history. As the American people have seen, this case had no crime, no damages, no proof, no facts, no law, only a highly conflicted judge, a star witness who is disbarred, disgraced, a serial perjurer, and criminal election interference. Today's event was a despicable charade, and now that it is over, we will appeal this hoax, which has no merit, and restore the trust of Americans in our once great justice system. Make America great again. I feel like I need to have like a Bud Light to chug and wave an American flag after reading that. Like, fuck yeah.
That's a pretty good statement from the Don there. I think they gave him like a fine to pay or something.
Yeah, I can't remember what the fine was.
And he's going to appeal that now.
Yeah.
And he was asking for them to withhold the sentencing until they appeal the case anyway, and they wouldn't do it.
Right. This is similar to like the rape charges thing, or the rape allegation hearing, where they end up determining that he didn't do anything wrong, but then they order that he has to pay a fine and all this other stuff. It's like we couldn't find any evidence that you actually did anything, but we're going to fine you because
and it's just, they know that they can get away with it because the justice system is so fucking slow and expensive. Normally people would just be like, all right, I'll pay the fucking fine. Trump's got that kind of fucking money and time and power now that he can just drag it. It's like, all right, fine, I'll appeal it. I'll keep fucking appealing. But if you were like a business owner or something going through this, and like one of your employees just made up some bullshit, you were fine. Like they didn't charge you with anything. They didn't convict you of anything, but they was like, hey, we're going to fine you anyway. And you just be like, all right, fine, dude, I'll pay it. Great. And then we're done. But he gets to take a principled stand here. This is, this is the hush money case. So this is a fucking porn star who voluntarily agreed to have sex with him and then signed a fucking like an NDA and violated the NDA. and somehow this is like they're going after Trump for paying her off as if it's election interference or something like that.
But the whole basis of him paying her off was that he used like campaign finances to pay her off, except that he didn't pay her off. His lawyer did all of it. Like Trump had literally nothing to do with any of it. And the lawyer, as he said, who was like the star witness in the case, has also faced perjury charges on 3 separate occasions, I think it was, has been disbarred from practicing law. Like the dude is straight up scummy. I mean,
well, and remember the attorney that was representing Stormy Daniels? That fucking guy, is he still in prison?
I think so. Well, and then the judge, this is the one with Judge Marcan or whatever. The dude was like it was a full on clown show. Like he was just like smiling for the cameras and making a whole big a big spectacle of the whole thing. Like he was doing this he's trying to be the next Judge Judy. Like he was trying to show off like how good he can be on TV.
Yeah, he was loving the attention. And yeah, like there's just so many fucking scummy people. It's just hilarious, dude, that like for as much shit as Donald Trump has probably done in his life, only like the worst fucking scum of the earth people try to go after him for things. And it's just like, I don't know, dude. I can't get behind your bullshit lawsuit. And also, you're a piece of shit. You're calling him a piece of shit, but you're a bigger piece of shit than he is. And it's like, it reminds me of like the Black Lives Matter thing. They always pick up the wrong cause, where there's plenty of like unjustified, police brutality or something like that. But they always take the one who's like a fucking maniac on ketamine, like who's been, in and out of prison 30 fucking times. And that's their poster boy. Just the whole thing is just fucking ridiculous.
Okay. He's not getting a fine. I was trying to find how much the fine was for. He's not getting a fine. He's not getting any jail time. So the
what's he appealing then? Just the
so the judge gave a unconditional discharge. So he won't be punished at all, but that means the conviction stands. So he's still technically a convicted felon, but there's no punishment. There's no it's just been discharged. So that's what. So he's what he's going to appeal is that there shouldn't be a conviction.
Yeah, he wants to take that talking point away from the fucking deranged leftists out there.
I think that's
kind of cooler.
Yeah, bad move. Yeah, I think that's a bad move. Like, be a 34 time convicted felon.
Yeah,
like embrace that.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and the 34 counts is the craziest fucking part about it anyway, because it's effectively the exact same. Like, they took the exact same charge and then just repeated it 34 times. And what was it? Like they changed the jurisdiction on it or something. It was
because it was also multiple payments over a certain amount of time. So like, he did like 4 payments or something, and there was like 4 charges for each payment, and so they just kind of racked up the exact same thing, and that he misappropriated. Yeah, he didn't on his tax returns or something. He didn't say this is to pay off a piece of pussy. He put like something else in the memo, and that's what they're getting him for. Which would be remember, this is supposed to be a misdemeanor that the statute of limitations had expired, and but they came up with some novel legal theory that if it was in furtherance of another felony criminal crime, then they could charge him for the felony, except that they never even named what the other crimes he was trying to cover up were. The whole thing is ridiculous, man. It's wild that there's still like a large portion of the American people that are behind these. Like, how could you get behind something like, even if you hate the person, it's just like, yo, that is some fucked up shit.
Well, it's like the thing with the baker in Colorado that wouldn't make the cake for the gay couple, and then they come back after he gets that dismissed and has no charges, doesn't have to pay any fines, nothing like that. Then some tranny comes back and tries to get him to make a cake for them, and then they sue him, and then it comes back again. He has been sued 6 different times for this. Like, they just keep going after him. Like that case and this case, any reasonable judge who has even 2 fucking brain cells to rub together looks at the case as soon as it comes to him and says, "This is bullshit. Get the fuck out of here." Like, that's the end of it.
There has to be, like, if I was a judge, I would just order the fucking people filing. I was like, now you got to give them $50,000.
Yeah, start holding them accountable for constantly bringing dumb bullshit back up.
Yeah, and then it'll stop immediately, and then we don't have to go through these ridiculous charades.
So the Colorado Supreme Court, to their credit, not really, but sort of, they have at least found a way to stymie those lawsuits against the baker. There's some legal mumbo jumbo, more or less, that prevents them from continuing to go after him. And so in the last time that they came after him, and it's some really like technical little use stuff, but the Colorado Supreme Court was like, you have to stop with this. We have this precedent. You can't do this anymore. Why they couldn't have done it, like they didn't dismiss it. They just said that you don't have a technically you don't have the ability to do this. Like, so they can still say, oh, well, this Baker is really a terrible person and he's totally guilty. We just can't actually take it to court.
Yeah. Guilty of taking a principled stand. Okay. And having values that you will not bend on. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess speaking of principled stands, your boy fucking Fetterman.
Yes.
The only one willing to work with Donald across the aisle, reach across the aisle, which they always, dude, how much have you heard about bipartisan this, bipartisan that? I'm willing to reach across the aisle. They'll fucking talk about that shit till they're blue in the face. But here comes good old Fetterman in his fucking hoodie.
Republicans should make the Democrats reach across the aisle and come work with them. There should not be any, like, you got control of the House and the Senate and the presidency. There should not be any reaching back across that aisle to the left. They all got to come this way.
Yeah.
But Fetterman actually, sounding like a reasonable, intelligent human being here lately.
Is this Tulsi Gabbard one of the nominees that you could vote for?
Well, I met with her. In fact, I think I've met with virtually all of them. And the ones that I haven't, they're on my schedule, RFK and Governor Noem. So I'm happy to meet with all of them. And that's also part of this. I don't know why that was controversial. I mean, I got a lot of blowback just, even to meet with them. And to me, I see that as just doing my job. And I'm going to have a conversation with anyone that would like to have a conversation with me. And if someone believed everything that's been written or said about me was true, I mean, you can't possibly know me, or I think I could know her either, just based on someone read. But I want to sit down and have a conversation, and I'm really glad that I've done that. And some of these nominees I'm going to vote for already. In fact, whether it's our colleague Rubio, Representative Stefanik, or even Sean Duffy, I expect to vote for him as well too, and Brooke Rollins for agriculture.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of them I can say right now here on Fox. I'm going to vote for them. But there's others, but that we're going to go through the process. But I'm open to hear from everyone, and I don't know why that's controversial. And I also would like to remind everyone on the Democratic side, that's the way democracy works. Trump won, and now they're going to run the table. And so they get to pick those kinds of people. And if you don't have to agree with all of it, but I want to find a way to work together on a bunch of them.
And I want to commend him on that.
Yeah. I mean, that fucking stroke that he is, right?
Yeah.
Man, can we just give every fucking Democrat a stroke? Not like one that they'll fully recover from, and they'll just be like 50 times better on everything.
Right. Apparently a stroke kills all the retard cells that are causing them to be like psychotic, insane.
How many strokes does it take to get turn a Democrat into an anarchist?
Well, and I don't. Yeah. Jay and I have the similar opinion. I'm convinced his wife was poisoning. After she left, he's like, this is how he is. Like, remember, with his wife in tow, he ended up in a fucking psych ward for some weeks.
Yeah, dude. We were ripping on him like every couple of weeks.
And then she just fucks off to Canada and never comes back. And now he's better than ever. Yeah, something was going on.
Yeah, she's putting just a little bit of mercury in his fucking cornflakes or something.
No, that's just extra sugar on those. But and then here's him being reasonable again.
There's a lot of talk about Greenland, for example. Now, and I know there's a lot of freakouts, and of course I would never support taking it by force. But I do think I do think it's a responsible conversation if they were open to acquiring it, and whether just buying it outright. I mean, if anyone think that's bonkers, it's like, well, remember the Louisiana Purchase? Oh, I think Alaska was a great deal too. $50 million, I think it was. It was it was referred to as Seward's Folly, and now that was Alaska now. So, I mean, open to having all kinds of conversations as well. And now I don't think it's not helpful to freak out, but some things might work out, some may not, but that's part of an ongoing dialogue. But he hasn't even taken office in 2 weeks. And, we really need to pace ourselves if we're going to freak out over every last tweet or every last conversation or press conference. But
That's good. That's a good one, John. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, we are here to work together.
Yeah.
And some things you can agree or disagree, but I think that's how DC works.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pace ourselves if we're gonna freak out.
Not every tweet. Oh, John, do you not know how this works? There's no pacing. We got to be in full on panic mode every day from now until whenever Trump leaves office on January 20th of 2028.
Yeah, I mean, they will freak out about every little thing. I don't know how they find the energy to do it, but yeah, Louisiana Purchase, he's making some good points. Louisiana Purchase, Alaska, $50 million for Alaska. I think the Louisiana. Well, I don't know how to do the Louisiana Purchase is like 1,800 or something. I don't know what the dollar was worth back then, but it was only it's like $8 an acre or something. Look that up. $10 an acre.
Let's see. 15 million, or what would be the equivalent thereof.
Okay. And what year? It was like 1800 something, right?
Yeah, 1803.
Okay. Where it's like, dude, that's like almost, it's like basically the entire middle of the U.S. we bought for fucking 15 million. What's Greenland got that we want? They got anything good up there?
I don't really know.
How did this even why did this even come about? I don't remember what the impetus for this was.
I thought the Greenland thing was a joke, and then they just I think the left willed it into existence. I think Trump said something about buying Greenland as a joke, and then the left lost their mind over it, and then it became a real thing. It's like,
yeah,
okay.
now I'm going, okay, I'll do it now. Yeah, dude, that's the way Trump operates. That's why he ran for president.
Well, I try to tell people a lot of something if you just don't react, and this is a lesson you learn having kids, and it would make sense that the left hasn't learned these lessons because they would rather abort their kids than actually try to raise them. Something you learn when you have kids is if they say or do something crazy, just let it go. It's for attention. If you acknowledge it, you make a big deal about it, then it's just going to get worse and it's going to continue. And there's no end to it. It's just let it go. And that's the Greenland thing. I think it was seriously just a Trump joke that they took seriously and went off the fucking rails with. And now there's I hear there are potential, there's some potential that it's for real going to happen. We're going to buy Greenland. I don't know where the money comes from to buy Greenland, but.
The Bitcoin reserve. Yeah. That's a good point that you make, where it's especially even if you don't have kids, but I don't know, if somebody's making fun of you or picking on you at school or something, don't let them know that whatever they're doing is bothering you, because they will do it 100 times more. If you act like it's no big thing, they'll lose interest and move on to something else. But buying Greenland, Gulf of America, Canada is a 51st state.
Yeah. Gulf of America, that was another one that they got all up in arms about. Man, Canada is the 51st state. Might actually end up being the most realistic of all of them because they're in such like economic downturn, and with the Trudeau resignation and their government kind of being in upheaval right now, and like there are some people that think that like Canada as the 51st state might be like in the next 2 to 3 years legit, which is fucking nuts.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it on that one, but again, but also like holy shit.
Let's wait for all the celebrities to move there after Donald Trump gets officially inaugurated, and then make it the 51st state. That'll make it that much more delicious. Oh God.
This is what the U.S. will look like by the end of the Trump presidency. We got the let's see, we've got the Greenland Protectorate up here. We've got the Northern Colonies. Alberta and Saskatchewan statehood requests are pending, and then we've got Southern Texas down here to the south.
Southern Texas. Oh man, that Greenland's got to have some. They got some oil up there or something that we can drill for.
I mean,
gotta be some oil over there.
If we get Greenland, we need to get Iceland too. Like, surely those are like a package deal, right? Like,
yeah, and it's, if I remember correctly from the Mighty Ducks, Greenland is covered with ice. Iceland is very green.
Correct.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Greenland's largely ice-capped landmass has rich minerals, a lot of natural resources that basically haven't been touched. There's also a new North Atlantic shipping lane that we would then have control of as well. So, and of course, it's the new frontier. I mean, shit, we can go wild, wild west style. I'm sure there's some cities somewhere, but I mean, we can go explore the frozen tundra. Fuck, I'm already living in the frozen tundra. I might at least get to do some exploring of like some, Virgin Mountains or something.
Yeah, you could just homestead like 10,000 acres of
fucking A, right.
That'll put you off the grid. I don't know if you can have chickens up there though.
I mean, oh yeah, you get there are hardy breeds of chickens that withstand the cold. Fuck, the 2 chickens we got won't go the fuck away. They like chase me across the yard every time I walk back and forth. I thought these bastards would have died by now, but instead they're just out here like. They love the snow. The ducks too. The ducks really love the snow. They just play in it all day long. Ducks are fucking annoying, by the way. Like don't have ducks.
Why would you have duck just to eat them?
Well,
They're very fat. They got a lot of fat on them. Maybe that's why they like the cold.
So we got one of our goats and our pig from some like distant relatives of my wife's, and they also had 2 ducks. And so the ducks just like kind of came with the rest. and then the ducks laid eggs, and she decided to stop collecting eggs. She was like, I want to see if we can hatch some ducks. And then sure enough, we hatched 7 fucking ducks, and or 6, we hatched 6 ducks. And yeah. So now we just have a whole bunch of fucking ducks. We should have kept collecting the eggs, but the duck eggs are actually a little bit richer. So they're a little bit bigger, and they're a little bit, the egg itself is a little richer than a chicken egg.
I wonder if that, interesting. Yeah. I wonder if that changes recipes when you use duck eggs for like pasta or something. A duck egg pasta.
That would be interesting. Yeah. When they start laying again in the spring, I'll have Stephanie. We'll collect enough and have her make some homemade pasta with the duck eggs.
Yeah, you just need well, I don't know. Maybe the recipe changes. My pasta recipe for all of you guys that care, very simple. It's 2 whole eggs, 4 yolks, 2 cups of flour, done, and some salt.
Have her make the pasta. We'll do some like homemade Alfredo sauce, and then I'll kill and dress one of the ducks and then grill it up, and we'll have some grilled duck Alfredo with
Sounds like
duck
a fucking
egg noodles.
yeah, hell of a meal.
Fuck, now I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. It's almost lunchtime.
It is lunchtime.
What?
Speaking of eating, probably not going to be able to eat at this place anymore. Popular Seattle Safe Space Waffle Shop forced to close due to inflation and a new $20 minimum wage. The Waffle Shop in Seattle is being forced to close down over the city's new $20 an hour minimum wage law, according to a new report by the New York Post. The shop owner, the owner of the Bebop Waffle Shop, said she was forced to close after the new minimum wage law took effect. I've cried every day. I believe this was also a notoriously woke shop that was promoting a lot of stuff like this, and then as soon as it hits, then
reality sets in. Right. So yeah, I'm sure they were at least paying, at least talking about, oh yeah, everybody should earn a living wage and this minimum wage. Listen, so I don't know how many people they employed. It at least employed this lady. It was her livelihood. So now instead of having a couple people working there for maybe $15 an hour or $12 an hour, now they're all unemployed for $0 an hour. Congratulations, minimum wage retards. That's what happens. The real minimum wage is fucking zero. And you can choose to be employed at $7 an hour or $10 an hour or $12 an hour. Nobody's putting a gun to your head to take the job. But if you demand that they have to pay a certain wage that the job just cannot fucking command that sort of value, well, the job goes away. And now you have nothing.
Yes, she's a lesbian progressive active or a social justice activist type. Okay. I found the article from Seattle.gov that gives her whole like her whole background and everything, and it's talking about her waffle shop. It's everything you fucking expect. It's crazy that the minimum wage requirements is what ended up closing her down after all of the very progressive, insane bullshit that she has been promoting or has been very vocal about, at least according to the write-up on her.
Yeah, I mean, that's the irony of progressivism, is nothing is better at destroying value and things that were created than progressive ideals. Anything that they claim is progressive is just the quickest way to destroy whatever it is in society that they're talking about. Every single time, without fail. That's how they're going to destroy the United States of America. That's why we are fucking falling apart, because of all these progressive ideas. That's how empires fall. Yeah. It's how coffee shops fail. It's how waffle shops fail. It's how everything fucking fails. Get progressive and watch it fucking go down the toilet.
Bread stores.
Yeah. Panera Bread. Pay what you want. Okay. Like... Yeah, there's just going to be a bunch of fucking homeless people and they're eating fucking soup all day for free.
There was it was a grocery store of some sort that I think it was a gay activist. So the waffle shop was a lesbian. So this is a gay activist that opened up some like pay what you want. Like it was like an honor system type thing. Like whatever you get, like whatever you think is a fair price for it, that's what you pay. Then it was shut down in less than a year because the dude went belly up because nobody thought they could pay anything.
Like, dude, just start a fucking soup kitchen then. I don't know, like, and get fucking like at least get the tax the tax write off and the donations and everything. Why are you trying to run a business that way? That's impossible. You just can't do it. There's just not enough people who are being like, okay, yeah, I'm going to pay 4 times what you want for that soup, so that all these other people can eat for free.
Anti-capitalist, pay what you can cafe in Toronto closes.
There you go. Yeah.
Because it turned out nobody could pay. Crazy, right? Everybody coming to this cafe, nobody has any money. What a shame.
Who could have seen that coming? Of course, it's in Toronto. Yeah. It's fucking Canadians. Oh. All right. We have, I think we have a shithole Chicago. Should we cue up the music?
Yes, we do.
That ready to go?
Yes, we do have a shithole Chicago.
Walking down the street, the shithole Chicago, where the wind is cold and the people are low. Broken down buildings, ain't no place to go. But the music keeps playing in shithole Chicago.
All right, Brandon Johnson. This dude is such a fucking clown. All right, here we go.
Some polls show 76% of those surveyed say Chicago would be better off with a different mayor. How do you convince them otherwise?
Well, look, the people of Chicago elected me to invest in people. In every single category as it relates to investments, they're up. I actually am humbled that the people of Chicago believe in my administration enough to have greater expectations than any other administration. That's what leadership looks like, and I'm humbled to do it.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that there's greater expectations? I don't know where I hear that. Because,
yeah.
and then the feedback instead is that the polling is poor. So how do I don't know how you interpret it that way.
Well, because maybe because I'm a middle child. Maybe it's because I'm a Bears fan. By the way, the Bears are undefeated in 2025, so we're off to a great start.
Doesn't have anything
Here's
to do
what I'm
with-
saying, though. Look, the people of Chicago voted for me to invest in them, and that's exactly what we've done. And I'm going to continue to do that.
Everybody thinks we would be better off without you. Well, that just means that they have high expectations for me. Like, well, yes, that's why they want you to go away, because you have not been able to meet those expectations.
Oh, dude, and just using the Bears as like an example of they're undefeated in 2025. Yeah, they snapped like a fucking 10-game losing streak with one win that they tried to give away to your Packers. You guys just wouldn't fucking take it. They tried to lose that game. It's unbelievable, man. The undefeated in 2025. It's just like the greatest example, like the way that they think about things. It's like, oh yeah, now we're off to we got this one little fucking victory that means absolutely nothing, and we're gonna taunt that as like, oh yeah, that's a great fucking thing. And I know he was being a little tongue in cheek, but like,
well,
that's the way they fucking think.
He's also the middle child. Like he's used to being beat down, and that's what he was getting at. He's the middle child. He's a Bears fan. He's used to being beat down and berated. Like that's just part of it. So basically, that's him saying, "You can talk all the shit you want. You're stuck with me until the next election comes up."
Yeah, and yeah. I don't know if bragging about being a Bears fan too. It's just like, yeah, I will support a dog shit organization no matter how many times they fuck up.
It's too bad these like city administrations can't do like the European governments do. It's like just have a vote of no, like city council shows up and has like a vote of no confidence, and it's like, all right, dude, nobody has confidence in you. That means you're the fuck out. We're gonna have another election next week.
That would be kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, it'd keep them on their toes. He wouldn't just be saying fuck off and coming up with these like retarded things, these justifications for I'm investing in people. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Like, all I know is that he's taking people's money. He's just raising property taxes.
Well, that's the problem too. Is and part of the reason why the people of Chicago hate him so much is, yes, he's investing in people, not Chicagoans. He's investing in illegal immigrants and like literally everyone and everything else. Didn't we talk about this time last year where they were having all these like town halls and stuff on the south side of Chicago where they were just absolutely raising fucking hell because they were building new housing developments for immigrants while the people who have lived there their entire fucking lives can't get their houses are running down, and like city housing, it's run down. They're having to move out. They're having to live in hotels and shit. And like they're building like housing developments and free meals for all these illegal immigrants, and just fuck you if you've lived here for 40 years. That's your problem. You probably should have moved.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And I wonder, have they started to build the government-run grocery stores yet in Chicago? Does anybody know how that's going?
That's gonna be a fantastic venture.
Yes, we're gonna get rid of those food deserts by letting the government. I mean, the only thing that could be worse than a retarded progressive opening up a grocery store where you just pay what you can would be the government trying to do it. Watch how that's gonna be a fucking utter disaster. In the most expensive fucking grocery store, it'll cost $1 billion to open up a fucking location, and it'll lose money every year. Yeah. Okay. Chicago. Yeah. Well, they had a big fire there once upon a time. Sometimes you just gotta purge these cities, start over.
So they have not gotten around to the government-run grocery stores yet. In September of 2023, they announced that they were forming a commission to look into it. So basically, they created a bunch of new government jobs for people who were already connected to the government to sit around and talk and get paid to not actually
Commission to look into it. Like what? Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. Let's just fucking blow another couple $100,000 on.
That's the most government thing to have ever been governmented.
Yep. How do I get on these commissions? I want to be on this commission.
Right.
Nice no-show job making six figures.
Go around and like look at abandoned buildings and be like, oh, I wonder if we could put a grocery store here. No.
Yeah. Could we sell some apples here? I think we could. Yeah, sure. Or maybe not.
I wonder if we could put a grocery store here. Nah, better house a couple thousand illegal immigrants.
Venezuelans. Let's get some Venezuelan gang members in here, actually.
Yes. They have to be the gang members too, not the normal Venezuelans, only the gang members. So
no,
there's
they literally, you have to prove Donald Trump right.
There's a nice apartment complex down the road. We need them to go take that over. So get these rent controls in check. Oh gosh. All right. Speaking of grocery stores and everything else, it is lunchtime and I am getting hungry. You want to wrap up on some funny shit?
Yeah, let's do one more and get out of here. God damn.
Oh, here we go. The View at its best.
Every person at this table gets hate speech directed at them every day. No one is.
All right, I guess no one gets to finish a sentence here anymore. Okay.
No, I think the point Alyssa's making here is she is a free speech.
Don't speak for her. She speaks very well for herself.
No, but and I'm not doing
we
that.
all act like we're for free speech when it's the things we like. When somebody wants to defend the free speech of people we disagree with,
that is not true. I don't want you calling me. I don't want people to call.
Comedy needs to be able to push limits.
Listen, comedy does push limits, but be smarter in your comedy. You don't need to offend me to be funny. I don't need to offend you to be funny. And so there are
tends to be offensive and push
that's actually not necessarily true. The best comedy doesn't always tend to be.
Okay. Yeah, you may not need to offend her to be funny, but it is pretty funny to offend them. It's also very easy.
If you're offended by comedy, I think you kind of miss the point of the comedy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and would you call, is Whoopi Goldberg considered a comedian? I think she's considered a comedian.
She was at one time. She hasn't done anything comedic in probably 30 years. But
yeah,
I don't know. When did Sister Act come out? Like Sister Act
was 90 something, early 90s, 93. I don't know. Yeah, that was her last fucking funny thing. Oh God, dude. 5 women just fucking yapping all day long on TV. It's
if there is a hell, I'll be strapped to a chair, Clockwork Orange style, and forced to watch that for eternity.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty bad. That would be pretty bad. Oh shit. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Yeah. I don't know what else to say other than, that one chick, she's like the most reasonable one. The one that was on the right talking. Just be like, yeah, everyone's for free speech, except when you don't like it.
Well, I think Sonny Hostin might be the the least reasonable one of all of them.
Yeah. No. It's like literally that fucking thing from Family Guy. Where it's just like the donkey just keeps making noises or something because he doesn't want to hear the answer. Yeah. Oh god, they're literally becoming the fucking memes and the cartoon jokes. It is a cartoonish world out there, and I am here for every second of it. Going to be a very, very interesting 5 years. And I keep, this is the third time I've outlined a trade that would have paid off if I took it. So you know the next one I take is going to be a loser after I watch 3 perfectly good trades, painless, hit target. Sorry, I'm a little distracted, but yeah, almost took it during the show, and I was like, I don't want to be in a trade while we're talking. But it would have been a beautiful one, in and out, and not even 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. Oh well, there's always another move. But yeah, it is lunchtime. And you got to eat and then take a nap. You working tonight?
I worked last night. That was my last night was my last night. And thankfully, because my ass would be calling in if I had to try to drive in through this shit.
Well, I think we're going to do a happy hour.
Yeah, I got to take a nap, so I'm ready for happy hour.
That's right. 6:30?
Yeah, we said 6:30 this time.
Okay, 6:30. I'll send out the email. Thank you all so very much for listening. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Try to stay warm if you're over there. Try to stay cool if you're anywhere near me or you're by those fires. And until Tuesday, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.